So, we're here. I can't believe we made it to this point. This is the final chapter of Shingeki no Kyojin, Attack on Titan. This actually came out last night where I live, and I've been waiting a while to read it because I didn't have my microphone and everything with me to be able to record it. Part of me doesn't want to read this. I don't want it to be over, but I've heard so much talk about it. I've been trying to avoid everything. Last night when it came out, I let myself take a sneak peek at it. Of course, the worst image could have possibly been shown to me through that, which was something about Child Armin talking to Child Aaron somehow, and him saying, "You did it so that we can become heroes," or something along those lines. So that may have just spoiled Aaron's master plan to me. I haven't heard anything about the father. I don't know if that's even going to come up in this chapter, but maybe it's just because I've been trying to stay away from all discussion of it. But here we go. The final chapter of Shingeki no Kyojin, Attack on Titan, Toward the Tree on That Hill. That's a great chapter. I thought it was called The End for some reason, but apparently not. Hey, you did it for the sake of the future you saw using the Attack Titan's power. But did you really have to beam me to a pulp? Why? Was naming me that important? So he's talking to Eren now? What happened? I bet it's going to be explained, but whoa. I was so desperate to push you all away. Even I found myself wondering what I was doing. I just let the moment take over, really. Sorry. Toward the Tree on the Hill. Final chapter, oh my god. You should be saying that to Mikasa, not me. All that nonsense you spewed heard her. Yeah, you're right. This isn't Shinganshina. It was all to push us away from you and make us into heroes who saved humanity from distinction by hunting you down. That's right, this is the panel I saw. How could you not be seen as the saviors of every surviving member of society? You turned your backs on paradise in spite of being island devils to stand on the side of humanity to the end. You'd probably become the most respected beings in this world. I swear if it's just going to be a thing of them respecting Eldians and Marlians and are going to work towards a successful future together, that just doesn't seem realistic. You're still man-eating monsters, unless he gets rid of the curse and stuff. So you want us to be like the Tiber family after the Great Titan War. We're supposed to protect paradise from reprisal from humanity outside the walls. They won't be able to retaliate immediately, huh? So you are kind of going with the 50-year plan? The rumbling will kill 80% of humanity. What? They won't be able to wage war. So when was this? Wait, was this before? Wait, did Armin know about this entire thing? Did you really need to go this far? Was this all for our sake? Where are you? Where I wanted to go. Let's talk as we walk. About our founder Ymir. Okay, founder Ymir here. Whoa. So this is flaming water. It really is flowing like a river. What Armin saw. How far did I get? You said that the power of the Titans continues to exist because Ymir has been obeying King Fritz for 2,000 years. How far did I get? Does he not know the effect of his rumbling? Was he asleep the entire time? Right, he'd burned her hometown, killed her parents, and pulled out her tongue. Jeez. And that's why she can't talk. But even when she attained godlike powers, she continued to obey him, so we're going to answer this question. What could have caused her to do that? When we touched at the path, I felt something. I couldn't believe it, but Ymir the founder loved Karl Fritz. What? You're saying she loved Karl Schitz? The King Schitz? What? Why? What? That's what bound her for over 2,000 years. Wow. I can't claim to understand the depths of Ymir's heart, but I knew she was in agony as she yearned for freedom. For 2,000 years, she sought someone who'd release her from the agony of love. And someone appeared. It was Mikasa. Yeah, I was going to say, they share a common bond there. Look at this. He's showing Armin all the sights that he wanted to see. The Aurora Borealis, Northern Lights. Oh my gosh. Huh? Did you say Mikasa? I did. So you weren't listening after all. I was listening. Why Mikasa? Well, only Ymir knows that one. As for me, that was season 2 ending. Even I still don't know what Mikasa will do. So this is before then. When did they talk? The only thing I knew for sure was the result of Mikasa's choice. All of it was to arrive at that result. That's why I moved forward. So he just moved forward because he knew he would arrive at that scenery and he just pushed forward with it, not knowing what the outcome was going to be. I murdered 4/5 of society. I led you to kill each other in paradise. Or parodies, sorry. I got all of you, my precious friends, wrapped up in this battle without even knowing if you'd survive it. That's the future you saw at the middle ceremony. Yep, you'd been all alone since then. It must have hurt. Armin, my head's gotten all messed up. The Founder's power has made it so that there's no past or future. It all exists at once. That's why he was able to see it. So I had to do it. That day, that... Oh my god. This was a theory I saw a long time ago, but a lot of people were saying it would go completely against Eren's motives. He killed his mom. On that day, he controlled Dinah. Oh my god. I'm pretty sure I'm right in that, but I want to wait just in case. That day, that time, it wasn't Bertolt's time to die yet. He led her astray. What? The one who let him go and made her go that way was me. Oh my god. Holy crap. He killed his mom. Eren was the one who started the story. Let's go, Eren. Yeah. Oh my god. So, what were you thinking about who? So now they're in their present uniforms? About Mikasa. Oh! Here we are at the ocean. I don't know how they got here still. Hopefully they'll still explain that. Do you think she can forget about you and live a happy life with someone else, just like you wanted? Well, who knows? Ow! What? Who knows? I don't remember ever forgiving you. What are you thinking discarding Mikasa's love for you like that? Woman who's always valued you over everything, even her own life. You really think you can tell her to forget about you and be done with it? No, you can't. It's Mikasa. She should be able to forget about the heartbreaker she loved and be happy at the very least. But who knows? Maybe she'll find some good in no time to shrug it off. Come on, Jean's right there, Mikasa. No. No, I don't want that. I want her to think about me and no one else for the rest of my life. What the heck? Wait, what? Mikasa finding another man? Even after I die, I want to be at the front of her mind for a while. 10 years at least. What are you talking about? This is so out of character, I feel like, for Eren. Oh, okay. I didn't expect something that pathetic. Please don't repeat that to Mikasa. I want her to be happy. I really do, but... yeah, damn it. I don't want to die. I want to be with Mikasa, with everyone. Eren, don't give up. We can find another way. No. I'm sure none of them wanted to die either, but how could I ever be forgiven? You did what you had to do, Eren. I don't know if you can ever be forgiven, but to be able to achieve peace and happiness for everyone else, you had to do it. Through this scenery. It's just, oh my god, then the rumbling footsteps. Even if I didn't know that you'd stop me in the end, I think I still would have flattened this world. I'd level almost every forest, and I would have left the land covered in carrion, fattened insects a few days later. I wanted to leave every surface a blank plain. Why? I wonder if this is 45. More than 45, by the way. It feels like it is, but I don't know. Eren. That is your name. I don't know why, but I wanted to do that. I had to. Eren, you are free. Oh my god, is it Grisha? No way. Was Grisha the father the entire time? What? That's the panel. That is the panel. So that wasn't actually the final panel then. Maybe. Oh my god. Isayama, you led us astray this entire time. No freaking way. All the shippers' hearts crumbled at that one panel right there, I bet. Armin, it's time. I'm erasing all of your memories of this place. Okay, so this happened a long time ago. Maybe. Armin, it's time. I'm erasing all of your memories of this place. Next time we meet, we'll be trying to kill one another, but you'll probably remember again once it's all over. So this happened a long time ago. Eren, thank you. You became a mass murderer for our sake. I promise I won't let this era go to waste. I don't know what happens after I die, but I know you can make it to the other side of the walls. Humanity will be saved. By you. Armin. Healed up already? It was then! On the boat! I knew it was going to tie into the scene. I should have mentioned that. Healed up already? Oh, it was that point. No way. Annie? And are the Titans going away? Is that why Falco's dropping right now? All of them are going. Now I remember. She's carrying his head? This is Armin. Wow. Why is there no blood flowing out or anything? Yep. Sayonara, Eren. Armin. You remember now too, don't you? When Eren came to visit us. Oh, he visited Mikasa too! Yeah, I heard. The result of your choice. There we go. Would make the power of the Titans. Would vanish from the world. Yep, I knew that Gabby wasn't gonna die. Yeah, because it was such a sudden one, but Jean and Connie are back, man. We predicted that. Now I remember. You conscientious piece of shit. Eren, you really are, Eren. He said even my mom would go back to being human. He talked to every single one of them. He said, for us to live long. What about you? I never asked you for this, you suicidal blockhead. What's up with Peek? Is she okay? I'm pretty sure she is. Huh, yeah. Huh. Wish I could have talked to him. Peek didn't. Welcome back. I'm home, Dad. So it is going to be a sort of happy ending, isn't it? Gabby! Like when they're in the shed. Hey, guys. Don't tell me they're all going to come back. Hey, guys. You see that? Guess this is the result of all your devoted hearts. Bye, Levi. Sasha. Backflips. No, judo flips. Mom, I guess I'm not the armor titan anymore. Is that true? That's great. Huh? I'm sorry for everything, Reiner. This is all I ever needed. I should go. Huh? Where? If I stayed here, I doubt they'd give Eren a proper burial. You're right. Let him rest somewhere quiet. Eren. Always like Napier. In the tree? Yeah, I think it's a good place. How is there a tree here though? That's it for Mikasa. Mueller. Please, Secretary Mueller. Eren Yeager is dead. The power of the Titans vanished. We are nothing more than people now. Can you prove that to me? Right here and now? If it's a blood test you want. Here, now. Please, prove it. Well, are you people? Or are you Titans? If we did still have the power of the Titans, wouldn't we be using it to resist you? But the fact that we continue to be powerless, even as you point your guns at us, is the greatest possible proof of our humanity. Who are you? I'm Armin Arlert, an Eldian from the Island of Paradise, the man who killed Eren Yeager, the Attack Titan. Were you though? It was Mikasa. Or I guess you all did. Or she's going off with him, I don't know. Historia's child. No way. 3 years have passed since the day known as the Battle of Heaven and Earth. That was a chapter, a name of 135? Was it actually the farmer? Was it actually the farmer who was the father? What was even the point of that, then? Just to mislead us? Those who have survived after an invaluable number of lives were taken still seem to be tormented by their unhealing scars. Yeah. The nation of Elia is formerly so-called army controlled by the Jaegerists and now focuses their efforts on building their military. What is that symbol? Is it like a fighter jet? As the world suffers through this loss, their fears have come true. The island yells out at everyone, oh, it's 2 guns! Fearful of retaliation, what is left of humanity on the other side of the sea. I mean, makes sense, it wouldn't all just be happy. You know, if we win, we live. If we lose, we die. If you don't fight, we can't win. Hitch. Fight. Tatakai. There's Niccolo, Mr. Browse, Mother and everyone. This fight will not end until either Eldia or the world disappears. That's true. That is what Eren said, and he may be right. Even so, he chose to leave this world in our hands. This place we now live in. A world without Titans. Whoa! Check this out. Peek and everyone. I never get tired of Story's beautiful handwriting. It even smells nice. What are you doing, Rainer? What the heck? How many times do I have to tell you not to lust after a married woman, creep? You seem awfully concerned about how your hair looks yourself, John. Trying to look good for someone? For all the girls who ever open a history textbook? Do you mean a field guide for horses? Oh, I'm still going Jean a horse. It's a damn shame you got a new lease on life, Lorrainer. Dude, he lived through it all. He still suffers. Annie? Paradise is within sight now, Armin. Do you really think this is going to work? They're going back to Paradise. Well, what's up with their new haircut? We destroyed the walls. We betrayed the island. We killed Aaron, a man revered by the people of Eldia. And we are the Allied Nations ambassadors for peace talks. Oh, so they're... Okay, ambassadors. Personally, I wouldn't be shocked if they sunk our ship right here. Believe in Historia. Connie with the new haircut, though. Her Majesty's first move was to protect John's relatives and my mom. I know she'll defend us too. I can't... Dude, look at all of them. Holy crap. Us weak little things. Annie, conflict will never vanish. Yeah. But when they see us all together like this, they'll have to want to know about our story. Levi survived! He's in a newspaper with a wheelchair. Look at this. We got Anyon Capone, Gabby, and Falco. Look at that. Gosh, I wish I could have more emotion. Holy crap. Why, those who tried to kill one another for so long have appeared on Paradise to advocate for peace. They'll want to know what we saw. Let's tell them everything. Wow. Judah. There we are. Aaron, everyone will be coming to visit you soon. Are you happy? Look at that. This is the tree that the story began at. Yep. I want to meet you again. A dove. It took her scarf away. May have been complete coincidence. But was that Aaron? You need to be without him, Mika said. Wait, so did it not take it away? It looks like she still has it. Thank you for wrapping this scarf around me, Aaron. And this, I've already read this part here. Oh my gosh. What a good story, man. I know a lot of people dislike this ending, and it seems a little optimistic now that I look at it in retrospect. But I like it. I do like this ending, because it's not all happy. Eldia and the rest of the world are still at each other's throats. I cannot believe, for the life of me, that after all this time of everyone fussing at each other about who's the father, it was all just a plan to throw us off. I said this in my 139 predictions. I don't think Aaron's the father. I don't know who it is. But knowing Isayama, it's just a plan to throw us off. That was never Aaron. The only reason why he shows that panel was to throw us off. Dude, the guy's a genius. He said he wanted to portray our readers. He put that in our mind without any of us knowing, and then betrayed us. He put a specific train of thoughts about Aaron ruling the world into our minds and completely flipped it on its head. It was all just to throw us off our tracks. It's just the farmer. Gosh dang it. What am I going to do without the series, man? What a good series, man. But what must we do? We have to keep moving forward. Shinzou Sasageyo. Alright, so it's been 1 week since I have read chapter 139. I haven't been able to get a whole lot of time to do this post-analysis because it's definitely going to be my longest one yet. Although I've only done 2 other ones, but I mean, there's just so much I want to talk about in relation to this final chapter. From the community aspect to the story itself. And I'm kind of off the hype train I originally was when I read it, so I've had a lot of time to process some things. But yeah, so this is going to be pretty long. So to start off, I've got a list here. And I doubt I'm going to cover everything I want to talk about. But it's the major aspects. If I really do miss out on anything major that I want to talk about, I will come back for it. but that would probably be my last video on this channel. This will probably be my final video. But starting out, personally, when I read the chapter, I really did enjoy it. And I mean that. There was, obviously I saw some errors in it. There were some things I didn't like, some inconsistencies, some plot holes. But for the most part, I really enjoyed it when I read it. Of course, right when I was done with it, I checked out the community aspect of it. I checked out Titan Folk, the AOT wiki, Twitter account, everything like that. And man, was the community divided, primarily on the bad side. And I get it to some degree, but some people are taking it way too far. I'll get into that later. But man, it's a mess. It really is. But I guess we'll get into the meat of it really quickly so that I can explain my stripes with it. So, a big problem I have with this chapter is Ymir. She kind of just up and left. There wasn't a whole lot of explanation for her. Suddenly it was that, oh yeah, she had some kind of Stockholm Syndrome type deal with King Fritz, and Mikasa's the one who saved her because she kissed Eren, which it makes sense to some degree. She showed her to let go and move on, and then Ymir's like, oh yeah, I'll just get rid of the Titans. That part didn't make much sense. And overall, I feel like Ymir's character could be handled a lot better. I was expecting more from her that chapter. I think all of us were. And I think whether you think the chapter was good or whether you think it is bad, we can all agree that it was rushed to some extent. I don't know how. I'm not blaming anyone. We have no evidence towards that. Isayama has an interview on June 9th, which is going to be a 3-hour long interview, which is pretty crazy. I'm really looking forward to that because I just want to know what happened. Was it something that he's planned all along? Was the ending rushed on his behalf? I don't know if he's going to go into that detail. I don't even know if he's legally allowed to go into that detail on who he was rushed by, etc. I just want to hear it. I just want to hear it from Isayama, what happened. I just want to hear from the guy, because we rarely hear from him. He's a pretty quiet guy, and that's fine. It's good to keep your life personal and stuff like that, and not let it get out to the audience. But I'm really waiting to hear on Isayama about this, because definitely some things are rushed. I feel like a lot of the ideas he had were thrown out really quickly for shipping. Like, I cannot speak on behalf of Japan, but from what I've heard, they really wanted an Cringe Avengers. I don't personally support that term, but that's kind of like group, the Alliance, I'll call them. They wanted the Alliance to win, and they were really hard about shipping, and then I don't know if they pressured him to make an ending like this, or if it was really something he had all along. I just don't see out of Isayama. I don't see him going towards a shipping ending and all the symbolism he had, just throwing it out at the end. I just don't see it out of Isayama. But yeah, I was really hoping for more on Ymir. I should probably talk really quickly that there is going to be 6 more pages in the official release. I'm really hoping those are actual pages for the story and they tie together plot holes so that we get a more not as rushed ending. But I'm guessing it's either going to be the ending to the high school cast, but I feel like we kind of got the chapter with the high school cast already in chapter 33, the ending to that, but maybe this will be the end of it, or maybe just an ending off note for Isayama, just 6 pages of him saying thank you for reading the manga, etc. But there is a slight chance that those are 6 more pages added onto the final chapter, which is strange, but I'm excited for it nonetheless. I'm not betting on it though. I really quickly also wanted to address a misunderstanding that I've seen some people have about Eren erasing Mikasa's memories of him visiting her in paths. Because this whole thing happened with Armin where he erased his memory, then right as they killed him, everyone got their memories back. And people were asking, well, how did he do this with Mikasa? The thing is, he didn't. He had this conversation with her in the log cabin in 138. That's what that was. He was Eren Yogurt all along. He was the one who had that conversation. He never erased her memory. That's why he waited so long to have that conversation with her right before her death, so that she couldn't take action beforehand. And so her memory was never erased. I don't think he even had a conversation with Levi, which is pretty strange. But yeah, so her memory was never erased. That's not a plot hole. Also, another thing is the worm. That was just really poorly handled overall, the hallucigenia. It appeared for a chapter or 2. It was used for a shock factor for turning everyone into Titans. And it kind of just left. That just makes no sense. It was just a really weird plot device. It did not work out well. It did not feel AOT-esque. I don't know. It was a weird final villain. Stayed there for 2 chapters, did about nothing other than turn people into Titans and die. And everyone was reverted anyway. It was primarily used for the shock factor. Pretty strange stuff. Historia. Okay. Let's get into Historia. There are a lot of angry shippers, especially in Titanfolk. Like, the place has turned into a hellhole now. I try not to go there anymore. I don't care for ships. I'm going to preface that really quickly. I don't care who Eren gets together with or who he likes. I don't care about that at all. I personally feel like that the story of it could have been handled better because Isayama made it so apparent that there was something happening with Historia. And I get at the end if he was really going for just a haha gotcha, the Historia wasn't actually important type deal, he could have handled it at least better because it wasn't even a well put together point to throw you off. It was simply put there to make it look really likely that Eren would have a child with Historia or something was going on there. And then just to throw it out at the end with no real explanation and just Isayama trolling us could have been handled better. I don't care who Eren got together with. I'm not disappointed by the fact she's with the farmer. I just think it could have been handled a lot better because it doesn't make a whole lot of sense for him to just throw that away out of nowhere. So there's that. The biggest controversial thing about this chapter I'm going to get into right now, and that is Eren. I do not care for all this controversy that's around Eren. So many people are getting at him because he's not this badass, cold, unsympathetic person who just wants to wipe out the whole world. People saw him like that, and the fact that he's actually a human who has emotions, I'm going to get more into that, makes people so mad. And that's just not a logical thing to get mad at. It's so ridiculous seeing people call the series bad simply because Eren is a quote-unquote simp. It's so annoying. I'm just like, that's the main thing about this fan base, just made me mad recently. You can't call the series bad because an anime character is not as cool as you want your self-insert to be. It's just so annoying seeing that. And I think Eren could have been handled better. I think it was poorly made, but I don't care that much. It's still Eren. I still think that was Eren. He just held all inside of himself. And everyone's bringing up points about, well, all these lines he said don't make any sense now. And that's because if we're trying to make this as logical as possible, he was lying about all this stuff to achieve this dream. I do feel like it's extremely lazy for Isayama to just say, well, I don't know, he just did rumbling because it was what he saw in Fate. Eren answering, I don't know, to every single one of Armin's questions and paths is really lazy. But I just don't get all the Eren hate. I'm sorry that he's not a really cool anime character that everyone wanted him to be, but this series is supposed to be realistic. I get it that the rumbling was not realistic in many aspects, this whole arc, but I can still understand Eren. He's still Eren. Another thing which I kind of get why people are frustrated about is Armin thanking Eren for mass genocide, completing it for them. And I get it to some extent. I feel like people are pushing it too far because Armin did say that it was an error, and although it's weird to thank someone for mass genocide, he saved them. If you're thanking someone who saved you, I mean, that kind of makes sense. At the same point, it is weird to thank someone for mass genocide, and it's so strange how they seem to underplay the whole genocide factor at the end here. They didn't try glorifying it by any means. There was only 20% of the population outside of the walls that lives now, and they have got extreme trauma. They're in camps of some sort, as shown by the end of the chapter, but they kind of glossed over it like a lot for being close to global genocide. So that's weird, and the fact that Armin thanks Eren is pretty strange, but it's not that it's illogical. There is some sense behind it. Another thing that I don't see a lot of people, or really anyone I've seen mentioned yet, is Eren trying to kill Armin in the final fight if he knows that he's going to die and if he wants them all to live happily. Is it just another instance of, I have to follow this fate to achieve this, that scenery, I guess you could call it? Because it wouldn't make much sense if Eren is trying to fight them in this weird colossal form, if he just wants to save them. But then again, it may be that lazy solution of like, I don't know, I just had to follow this fate just because of these conditions I had to meet to achieve this future, which is really lazy. And then, on a more minor note, I was watching Roger's Base, and it was a minor complaint he had that I was like, yeah, I can kind of agree with that. The fact that all of the characters, Jean, Connie, Gabby, came out of their pure Titan forms wearing clothes. And by no means am I saying I want them without clothes, but it just doesn't make logical sense that they return into pure Titans. They no longer have a physical human form to them, and they come out with their clothes on. Of course it's a shonen, there's certain ratings on it. It's not something you can literally just bypass. but I feel like there could have been ways he could have done it, so it was just strange overall. But then again, that's compared to everything that happened in the final chapter, it's really something that you can gloss over. Another thing I wanted to cover that I haven't seen anyone cover is the reason that Mikasa is on Paradise, or what she is doing there. Obviously she wants to be with Eren, but no one that we know of the 104th has been on Paradise, most likely, other than Historia. Mikasa is just there by herself. What she does there, I don't know if she can just live a comfortable life, as she is one of the heroes who saved the world in the battle of heaven and earth. She may just be able to live a peaceful life doing her own thing. Not that that needs to be explained, but it's just interesting. I just want to know what Mikasa is doing 4 years later in Paradise. What has she done during those 4 years? Not necessarily a plot hole, just something that isn't mentioned that can be left up to the reader's interpretation, which is fine. And oh boy, this is something that a lot of people get after Isayama about, and one of the things that is just isn't something I can defend necessarily, because it's true. It's a blatant plot hole that doesn't have any explanation behind it. And it's a line that Eren says to Reiner when they're below the stage of Willy Tiber's speech, right before the declaration of war. And that is Eren asking Reiner, why was my mother killed? There's not much reason behind that, because Eren killed his own mother through pants. So that's not necessarily Reiner's fault if Eren was the one who did it in the first place. I guess you could make the argument that, well, the reason that he had to lead it away from Bertolt in the first place was because they were there, and thus it created a chain effect in which Eren had to do that. It was just weird. And again, the whole shock of Eren killing his mother didn't really make a whole lot of sense for Eren's character. It was more just thrown in there for the shock value, which kind of sucks, rather than actually making sense in the story. I don't like how people are getting after Eren for that too, though, because although it's bad writing, it makes sense through the story that Isayama presented, because it doesn't matter what Eren's emotions were. What Eren had to do was follow the path before him, and that path included killing his mother to achieve this new future, which is probably like a 1 in a million or 1 in any reality in which everyone gets to live. And so it was simply something he had to do, not something he wanted to, but what he had to do to achieve this future. Now on to the motto, the phrase of the Attack Titan, Shingeki no Kyojin. Its whole idea around it was freedom. It always strove towards freedom, is what Eren Kruger said. It doesn't make much sense, seeing as how Eren reacted, because freedom, sure, there's freedom for Paradise now, but freedom for the Attack Titan, if we're talking about the Attack Titan, is usually freedom for the one holding it. Because there's no such thing as freedom for all, because with everyone being free, there is no such thing as freedom. The Attack Titan strives toward the freedom of itself, of its holder. So for Eren to kill himself, to be able to save everyone else, goes against the will of the Attack Titan, which are really going with the theme that Eren was a slave to his destiny. Him not being a slave to the Attack Titan's will is pretty strange, and another plot hole. It sucks I was rushed reading. Again, we're getting a long interview with Isayama in June, 3 hours long. I can only hope that he addresses some of these issues. One of the final questions I have is another one that I have not really seen mentioned, and that is Grisha saying to Zeke, "You have to stop Eren. What's coming forth is terrible or unimaginable." Now, there's a lot of explanations for this. Eren could have simply shown Grisha the rumbling, and that was it. And he thought that Eren was just going to destroy the entire world, and he manipulated Grisha by only showing him certain memories. Or Grisha was also manipulating Zeke so that this reality could come true. He's telling Zeke, "You have to stop Eren in the rumbling. It's terrible," and manipulating him once again to then come towards this future. So Grisha may have been tricking him, but I don't think that's likely. I think the most likely scenario was that Eren simply just didn't tell him the full outcome, which is sad, but I still find it weird how Grisha said to Zeke that what's coming is terrible, you need to stop Eren. All just for some plot twist at the end there that wasn't even too good. On my mind right now, that's all I want to talk about. There's a million more things. I could go on for hours about this chapter and about the community and the entirety of it too. This series has been absolutely amazing from top to bottom. the amount of callbacks, parallels, meaning behind every single thing, and just the overall story being so good up until the rumbling. It was okay. I'm not saying it was terrible. It's just for a series like AOT, it's sad that the rumbling wasn't as great as everything else, the ending for the series. It's so weird that Isayama, for a story that he's been doing so well on, this final chapter should have been the one that he's worked the most on, the hardest on, and yet it was probably the worst. Again, probably because of rushing, and he had to change things at the last moment. But it's just, man. Again, the series has been absolutely fantastic. Definitely my favorite series of all time. Don't know if anything can ever top it. It's so sad to see it leaving off at this point. The anime may fix it. I can only hope. This will probably be the final video for the channel. If I really have something that's edging me and I need to get it out there, like an opinion on this final chapter, something I want to talk about, I'll bring it to this channel. I am recording my reactions to the anime videos, or I have, for part 1, but those were just for me personally, just as this channel is doing it for myself. Yeah. So I think that's... But I think that's really it. For anyone who's actually seen these videos, I mean, wow, thanks for watching them. Again, it's primarily just for myself so I can look back on in the future. Look back on them in the future. But for that, I say we end this off with You See Big Girl in the background. I think it's fitting, but the best thing you can end off the series on. So with that, Shingeki no Kyojin, Attack on Titan, comes to an end. An amazing story. Here we go, everyone. Here's the better things. Shinzou, Sasageyo. Wish everyone luck in the future. Here are things to come. Shinzou, Sasageyo.